You grew up in Umuahia, didn't you?
Yeah, I grew up in
and you said the way you got into fashion was that your family couldn't afford many of the clothes, I think.
Yeah.
And you would see like your peers,
Yeah.
who were able to afford some of these things. Yeah. And so what happened? How did that?
No. What happened is that when I tell people that my background is fashion.
Yeah, right.
All my sisters.
Yeah, you said from 10 years you've been in fashion.
All my sisters were seamstresses. My elder sister was on the mainland with her the other day. Right. All my sisters were seamstresses. Right. My godfather, owned one of the few fabric supply store in Omaya at the time that I was growing up. Right. And my mom was a widow, and I was the last son. So everybody was already gone. It was just me and mom, Yeah. And of course, mom had to put food on the table. Yes. You know what I mean? So while my mom is out putting food on the table, when you have things like a Christmas, all the festive period, she will send me to my godfather.
Right.
And I'm talking at 9, 10 or whatever. She would send me to my godfather to go and select fabric. So sometimes she might give me enough money for one pair of trousers, and my godfather will give me 2 or 3. And the store used to be like a very busy place. So he didn't even have time for me as well. Right. So what he does is that, how are you? How's your mom? Okay, go over there, choose something. Right. So at that time, at that age, I was already having, relationship with fabrics, feeling them, touching them on my cheek and everything, And even when I take that home, mom still wasn't home. So mom is still not going to take me to the tailor. So I still had the responsibility of taking it to our neighborhood tailor who was on the other street, And I was one of the kids who would insist, this is the way I want it. So eventually the guy started using me as an errand boy, just so I'll go and buy his rice, buy whatever, and I'm still there because you have to do so I've always been very direct in what I want when it comes to fashion.
Right. So that's how the journey started.
That's how it started.
Then what happened next?
And then in Government College Umuahia, which was an elite school at that time, so it was all about fashion then.
Right.
Okay. Right. So some of these guys will get things from their brothers, from abroad or whatever.
So the others could go abroad and buy the things, but
not them go. Maybe their brothers and sisters will
But you would now figure out how to match without having access to those resources.
No, not even. I think that was actually when I started, having these. This unique style, trying to stay on my own corner, because it's like in Nigeria now, and I'm not going to be, I don't drive Mercedes, I don't drive this, and I have a Jag, vintage Jag, because I'm not there. I don't have to every year like, it's 2024, I have to go to that. No, I don't have that pressure.
Yeah.
That's who I've always been. Right. So I've always wanted to do my own thing. As long as it doesn't hurt you, you do your own thing. I respect what you're doing.
Yeah. So are you saying is that situation, moving to government college, is that helped you sharpen your desire to be unique?
I would never do anything without giving respect and love to government college Umuahia, because what happened at that point in time was that I was one of those kids who didn't want to wear school uniform.
So then you went from there to IMT in Enugu?
No, I didn't, because I was there for 4 year levels, and then I got an admission to the uni, and before I could go to uni, I was out of Nigeria.
Why did you leave Nigeria?
The Japa syndrome. It didn't start today. That's precisely what I'm trying. It didn't start today. Yeah. Because, I couldn't get there, because at that point, you would go to I had a lot of friends in Ikeja, and you would be having, some drinks with your friend today, having a laugh, and then the next day you go to their house, Otin law. That's a word I can't forget it. Otin law where?
Yes.
Pim. Yes. So all my friends were just disappearing all of. I was like, dude, me too. I need to disappear. That was it.
Right. So how did you make it happen? Because unlike them, you came from Umuahia.
Yeah.
So unlike them, you didn't really have the ready pathway. So how did you live?
At that point, it wasn't as difficult as it is now to start with. And I went to my mom. I said, I got to leave. So basically, I started, I got my visa. Nobody got me a visa.
Right.
From Tafawa Balewa here, TBS. All those agencies and everything.
Yes.
So someone introduced me to one of them, and I went to him and paid him money, and he got my visa, and I was off.
Right. Where's your mom now?
My mom is late.
She's late. When did she pass?
My mom passed about 12, 13 years ago.
Right. Were you in Nigeria when she passed?
No. I came down.
So was that what did that make it? Did that make it more painful?
It was. You see, the thing is that, and this why I have a few friends now who want to send their wives and kids abroad, and every time they come to me, I'm just like, okay, I get it. The economic situation. You want your child to have an European passport, and I get it. But the negative end of it is that you are going to be disconnected with your family. Yeah. Okay? And I think it is actually a sad thing. Mm. I have a family member now, and all his kids are abroad. Yeah. And he's down here. Yeah. And he's actually sick at the moment. Right. So you can imagine. So in as much we do those things, and we think anybody who can keep his kids here in Nigeria, if you can afford it, please do so. Keep your kids. Right. Keep them together. Right. Because one of the things that I regret, and I still regret it today, is living abroad whilst my mom was over here. And I could actually count how many times I saw my mom when I left this country before she left. If you give me a pen now and give me time, I can count how many times. Yeah. And this was a mom that we used to be. When everybody left, it was just me and mom. Yeah. And you know, Nigeria, everything is trend. So when people start sending their kids away, everybody start doing it. Yeah. Does it work for you? Yeah. What is the reason why the other guy sent his kids abroad? Yeah. Is it because of financial reasons? Maybe he wants his wife to go. There has to be different, but you have to do what works for you. Are you ready to have a kid who's living abroad and you see him after every 2 years? Yeah. Are you ready for that? Yeah. If they want to go for education, fine. Okay, let them go, but let them come back, because you are without being prompted or pushed or whatever, trying to show some kind of a disconnection. Yeah. So I would never, if anyone asks me, if you can keep your kids here, if you can manage, I know it is difficult, it's a very difficult terrain, but if you can keep them here, please do.
So if you could switch back the house of time, would you have made a different choice?
Career-wise, I might say no. Right. Okay? Because this is me being frank. Yeah. Career-wise, because I believe that the things that I've learned, the experience, the education, okay? Because I can tell you, before I left uni, I think they probably spent maybe 100 to 150 pounds on me. Right. That I pay back when I have the money. Right. If I don't have the money, I don't have the money. Nobody comes after me. Yeah. Nigeria is not going to do that for me. Yes.
Do you have a family of your own?
I have a daughter.
You have a daughter? I didn't know that.
I have a daughter.
How old is she?
My daughter is 22.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I have a daughter.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Of course I have a daughter. Yeah, my daughter just graduated from University of Coventry. Yeah, I have a daughter.
I love that. Obviously, you're a single parent, I'm assuming.
Yes, at the moment. Yeah.
Do you have a close relationship with your daughter?
Not as much
as you would want.
As I would.
Is it because of that same thing, the conflict? Yeah. It's interesting. That means that when you came back to Nigeria the first time, because you came in hot, and you came with your style, and so people would question your sexuality. They would question it.
You see, the thing is that it never bothered me.
It never bothered you? No. Because
you know why? No, let me come. Now, put yourself in my position. I'm a fashion designer, okay, who would give anything to get to the level, I'm just laying it down, to get to the level of D'Angelo, Tom Ford, Armani. I could go on and on. Yeah. All homosexuals. Right. And then someone says, you're homosexual. And you go, what does that make you?
What does that make you?
A hypocrite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you want to be like this.
Because you want to be like these people. Yeah. That makes you a hypocrite. Right. And I have no hypocritic bone in my body. So I see people, even here in Nigeria. Yeah. A friend of mine the other day was saying something about, I don't know, one of designers, I think he's, I've forgotten his name, right. And he's gay. He was saying also he's gay. Dude, you have his clothes on.
You are wearing the clay cloth.
Yeah, you have his clothes on. Yes.
You mentioned a few times about writing articles, and for those Gen Z that were born after 2000, You had one of the most popular blogs in this country.
That one.
You had,
that one.
Yes, Diary by Emmy Collins.
The Diary by Emmy.
Yes, and you were extremely frank.
Yeah, and we don't like that. And some people say haven't forgotten, haven't forgiven, haven't forgotten.
Yes, yes. Can you share one of the stories of unforgiveness you have?
This is actually all the way in London.
Really?
So they took it from Nigeria
all the way to London.
So I was meeting a friend of mine, a Nigerian lady as well, who was in PR in London.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be at Selfridges.
Right.
So I came in and we're having coffee, drinking, and she said, like, don't look, but there's a lady behind you that's looking at you. If she has a gun, you'll be a dead man by now, dude. I was like, what do you mean? Said, I'm telling you, I've been watching her because I was back in the lady and she was facing I couldn't see the, but she was facing the lady.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? I said, I'm really serious. I've been watching this lady, So I was like, she said, okay. I said, okay, I'm gonna pretend like I'm going to the toilet because I need to see this lady that was about to shoot me down, whatever. And I looked down and there was he was one of the people in Nigeria. I knew the person. I was like, So that's what I'm telling you. Yeah. And even till today, they still have not forgotten.
Yes.
But what they forgot to do is that, you see, whoever talks and writes like me does what he needs to. It's not insane. I just do it and I drop it over there.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I don't hate nobody. Yeah. I don't think about anybody.
Yeah.
And that's why every time I come back, I still look fresh. Because I know the carry people and go sleep.
Yes, you just say it and you move on.
I just say it and I move on.
And what was the 2014 AMVC where you came for a lot of people's fashion styles? There was Uche Jobo, there was Foke Akindele, there was Toke Makewa.
I cannot remember.
The blogs carried it. All, like if you Google it.
No, but you see, and another thing I've learned, you see, age teaches you, experience teaches you. Okay. For me, it's not out of fear. I'm starting a podcast.
Okay.
I'm going to start a podcast.
Okay.
But what I've learned is that, because at that point in time, it was all fun and games for me.
For you, right.
Okay. It was me expressing myself.
Yeah.
Okay. But I've come to the level where I realize that the word of mouth actually hurts people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though your intention was not to hurt them. Yeah. So there are people that are actually hurt badly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just because I shared the truth.
Yeah.
Because no one has actually approached me and you said
anything that's wrong.
No. But it was about they couldn't understand someone doing such a thing.
Right.
And that now is still the problem we have in Nigeria.
Right.
We have a fashion industry and we have, quote unquote, the fashion week. We have a fashion week and there is no fashion journalist. None, nada, nix, rara. That actually spends time, just critique.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it maliciously.
Yeah.
But say the truth. Because it's not only that it helps the fashion community, it helps the designer. If the designer is someone who actually wants to grow.
You think as an industry, we are still stuck where we were in 2014?
We've actually gone back. Yes.
In the fashion industry?
Yes. And I can tell you why.
Why?
Because now, in Nigeria now, first and foremost, what we see as advancement, for me, it's not as advancement. Okay? Fashion is not making money. Fashion is broke. Nigerian fashion is comprehensively, totally, fundamentally broke. But when I say people are going to be, what do you mean by broke? That fashion driver drives a G-Wagon, that one drives a...
Yes.
That's it. That's our achievement. Because as at 2014, I already had a business plan for my plans for Nigerian fashion. When Nigerian fashion will start sustaining itself, start paying for itself, as opposed to going hand on this into to people.
Right.
To be paid for money, to do shows, and then the next year, rinse and repeat. We do the same thing over and over, and we haven't moved. But I remember meeting on Oni of Ife when people introduced me to him. And the fashion manufacturer was the one presenting it to me. I was like, who is this guy? And this is what I used to tell people. I used to try to explain to people and they wouldn't understand it. But he was one, oh, you're a designer. I think this is good for Nigeria. And that's why I would so much love to meet him again.
Right. But he got it.
Yeah,
he understood it.
I'm telling you, he was explaining it to me. I was like, what is going on here? I've tried to explain this to everybody.
Yeah.
No one understood. Nobody could see where the money was.
Right.
Because Nigeria, you know, we are used to you buy here, you sell here.
Yes.
You know, is that same? Is that basic?
Yeah.
No one saw the money.
Right.
But he was trying to tell me that there's money there.
Right.